Soul Garden.
Good morning. I'm out light walking on the West Coast again in Costa Mesa, California, and it's Friday. Thank God it's Friday. Good morning and Namaste, and welcome to Namaste Today. My name is Witecki. I am a psychic astrologer. I call myself the Sensei to Serious Joy. Here to stand in my heart each day and walk in the light. Thank you so much for light walking with me. I am back on the West Coast. It's been a busy week, in Costa Mesa, California, and I'm happy to report it's Friday. Thank God it's Friday. And I barely got this show actually off the road just because of just the insanity energy of a full moon. We have a full moon in Aquarius today. It actually began last night. It apexed while you were sleeping if you live in North America. No, actually, if you live in the United States. But if you're in Europe, it apexed actually during the day. And what this is a tug-of-war between two sides of yourself. And although the full moon technically came to a climax last night, I really believe that a lot of the work is going to be today and through tomorrow. That's because the moon will actually then oppose Jupiter, which is almost as powerful as the sun. Now, putting it into simple layman's terms, I know I did a little astro off there for a second. What this is really about is a tug-of-war in yourself between your heart's desires and your heart's desire to do something very unique. Okay? So each of us are a part of God consciousness. We're all part of God consciousness. All of us is God. We are all one, if you don't know. But you are a very unique aspect of that one. You are making choices that no one else in the world cares to take or make, right? And so this full moon and through the weekend is about crystallizing your own uniqueness. And at first, in the last 24 hours, you're crystallizing your uniqueness against your heart and maybe different things that your heart wants. So I think the first 24 hours of the full moon has been about really separating from all the things our heart wants. What does our heart want the most? So you might have been having to choose between two career paths or two love paths or two vacation destinations. Sometimes it can be very shallow and yet represent very profound things. And that really was helping you, crystallize who you are out of all those things your heart wants. Because our heart wants a lot of things. That's what we're here to do, is manifest all of them. It's just a matter of when is the right time for which one, right? And a lot of that has to do with symbiotic and when the world shows up for you and doesn't. So in the last 24 hours, that's what we did. In the next 24 hours here on Friday to Saturday, we're going to be then kind of taking that uniqueness of ourself further into what it is our heart is manifesting, what it is our heart really wants, and what we're going to bring in through this next year. And Jupiter moving into Virgo is going to make sure that actually happens. So I believe that dreams will get cashed. Okay, so these checks will be cashed, but we must separate precisely what it is that we want and focus on the individual uniqueness of who we are. So without further ado, and before the sun sets today on this full moon, let's go inside real quick and check with the planets and my guides. It's kind of hard to focus here, but I'm going to do it. And there they are. So they actually bring me to Chiron. That's very interesting. And Chiron is in Pisces retrograde at step 20, so that is emotional protection, step 20, passionate protection. So what I think they're showing me is that as you release from the things that your heart really, really wants now and doesn't want so much right now, again, self-compassion and the magical words of "it's okay" will be what gets you through the day. Okay? So it's like, well, but I can't have both. That's okay. But it's okay. All right? Everything's okay. You can make it another time. You can make it another life. You can make it another day. You can make it today. But no matter what, it is okay. So self-compassion and self-mercy, they're telling me as well. Self-mercy is that you make it easier on yourself. So, for instance, I think you guys have seen me be more self-merciful in the last 6 months as I have taken the workload off of my show and just let myself be who I am and not be so hard on myself. everyone's told me they prefer this format. So it's like, whoa, my God, I was so hard on myself. Those were all things that I thought I had to be in order to be loved or appreciated or seen who I was. And that was obviously not the case, right? So in your case, my example, let it be for you. There are probably many things where you're being too hard on yourself and you are putting too much workload on yourself. And really, you could just get away with sitting down and talking to the people, and they may actually just like that, right? So now they bring me to Pluto. Interesting read. So Pluto is at step 13 Capricorn. And so what that means is that as you are shifting into this new world, and I talked about this a couple days ago, you really want to draw some solid lines, okay? There really is no turning back. That's a very strong feeling I'm getting. So you want to full throttle towards the uniqueness that you want. You want to believe in that uniqueness, and they're showing me you want to kind of like make the rules as you go. So the last time Pluto was in Capricorn was the American Revolution. We sat down, we wrote a constitution, we didn't exactly know how it was going to go. Okay, we just had to make up the rules as we went because we were creating a new world. Now you may be surprised to know that the time before that Pluto was in Capricorn was when the Mayflower was coming on to America's shores. All right, so this was the time when we were, again, it's like, well, we don't want to live in this religious persecution, so we're just going to have to make up the rules and see what's best. So the guides are saying, here we are once again, my friends. Pluto at step 13. Step 13 is the uranium degree. That is where things change forever, right? And so Pluto at step 13 says that as you are striving for that uniqueness in your heart, as you are striving for the little things that you love the most and letting the other things drift by, go ahead and slam the door on those other things and give your full light. They're showing me your full heart to what it is that your heart really wants. Give yourself a try. Now they bring me to Black Lilith in Virgo. This is a really interesting read. It's all earth signs, it seems like you notice, except for, of course, Chiron. But Black Lilith at 27 degrees, 27 is where we are afraid that if we go with what we feel, it will lead into a disaster. Disaster is Black Lilith. All right? Now, in all the readings that I do, most of the time when people made a mistake in a past life and got hurt, it wasn't because they went with their heart, okay? It was because they weren't protected and they went with their heart. It was because they were aligned with people that wanted to undermine their success and they went with their heart, so they didn't know that, which again is not protected. I might be channeling myself here. But, but it also sometimes it's just they didn't believe in themselves, other reasons. But following your heart is the essence of life. And so what my guides are showing me is that with Black Lilith at step 27, you might be afraid to pull the obvious switch. It's obvious, it's right there in front of you, and you might find yourself hesitating. And what they're saying is you're hesitating because you are afraid, which is never the way to go in light walking. You are afraid that it might turn to something that you can't see. Now that is precisely what holds civilization back, my friends. All right? When you don't let yourself, because of fear. Fear is false evidence appearing real. So if there is no real evidence and your heart wants it, they're showing us, and you ask God, are you going to get hurt, and you got no warnings, then you should absolutely go for it and create whatever this reality is that you might be a little afraid of creating. Do not let fear ever hold you back. Okay? If you need my extra help on that, come watch me. I will always give you that. I have to remind myself of that. Now they bring me to Jupiter. Hallelujah. Jupiter is at step 27. Isn't that just beautiful? I had no idea. And so since Jupiter is at step 27, there you go. Jupiter is putting the throttle on going for your heart. That's all the gold coins on the poker table are at step 27, which means if you feel it, the 2, and you sense it, the 7, then you act, 9. Step 27 is the master of action. A step 27 Aries is a grandmaster Aries. Okay? This is the moment when action will always speak louder than words. They're showing me that if there's someone you want to go up and talk to, you better go talk to them. If there's a job that you wanted, you better tell people you want it. If there's something that you can apply for in front of you, you better do it. Even if you don't think you're going to get it, what you're doing is you are being who you really are, and that's what's being sponsored by the universe. Being who you really are. So if you be who you really are on a subway with your headphones on, or you be who you really are privately, dancing like Tom Cruise in your underwear in Risky Business, you're still going to get it, says the universe, because you are being who you really are. So the universal message here is this full moon energy, the moon is going to oppose this Jupiter at 27. All right? And so when it does, by the way, I'll just say right now, I'm going to program into my Serious Joy, for my Serious Joy subscribers, I'll program in the 2-hour period where the moon will oppose Jupiter, so you know you're in the cosmic period. But it seems, as I'm seeing in my third eye, this moment when the moon crosses and opposes Jupiter, this might be the moment where everyone has that, like, should I go this way or should I go that way? And the answer is, who is uniquely you? Be who you uniquely are this weekend. Follow who you uniquely are this weekend. And do not be afraid of ghosts from past lives. Once you get to that other side, slam the door shut, turn on the light, and it's party time. That's what I'm seeing there. And they're all like, yay! Sometimes like I have to get rid of. I don't know who's up there, but they're probably all like Broadway, dead Broadway performers, because they're very, very over the top. There's one more thing they're pushing at me before we go today, and that's Mars at step 24. And Mars at step 24 is that aggressive self-caretaker. Everyone must take care of themselves right now, take care of their own feelings. It is spiritual, it is symbolic, it is important, and you must have an emotional foundation to pursue your dreams. So the 24, the 4 means that the kind of care you're going to need to get past that little moment of going for it with step 27, okay? That kind of passion you're going to need is a different kind of self-nurturing, a different kind of emotional support than you've probably given yourself before, is what I'm seeing. So so you must be there for yourself, not only in a new way that you've never allowed yourself, but you must be there for yourself in a new way to support that new way in order to pull it off. And you will understand how masters can do so much fun on the earth, is what they're saying. And that, I think, is it. That's our broadcast. I'm so grateful. I literally was racing the sun today, and I work with the sun, as you well know, being Christopher Rayman Witecki. I love the sun. What a beautiful full moon, isn't it? In closing, I just want to say thank you, my friends. I love you so much. I am going to be traveling a lot here in the future. Many people are wondering if I'd be back on the East Coast. Yes. Right now, what I'm doing is launching a new Serious Joy, which I'll be talking about. I do want to remind viewers that this is the last weekend you can get me for the low rate of $124.95. I will be doubling my prices at least on August 3rd. This is after 10 years of being at one rate. I'm going to add some more dates to the calendar. So if you get a date you're not happy with, don't worry. We might be able to move some dates around and add some dates. But if you get in at this rate, you'll be grandfathered in at this cost as I move forward. All right, so it's a very gracious offer. I recommend you take me up on it. And I want you to be in your heart this weekend, my friends. Stand in your heart. Be uniquely who you are. Let that beautiful full moon represent your heart shining out there like a superhero symbol in the sky. And I'll be back on Monday when we begin our Venus past life adventure, now that you know who you uniquely really are. Have a fabulous weekend. Remember, I love you, and live, love, be.
So